Hello folks and welcome back to the channel, and today I wanted to talk to you about a movie that I watched in the wee small hours when I had to keep myself awake to take the flight that we took to London last week, and I watched Nothing Bad Can Happen. This is one that was recommended on Spooky Astronaut's channel by Emma under her disturbing movies recommendations, and boy was she right. This is one I wanted to watch on my own because certain movies, especially for me, movies that are disturbing, I don't really want to be subjecting other people to them if I haven't seen them myself. I want to have the option to switch it off if I want to. So I waited till I had a little bit of time on my own and I checked out Nothing Bad Can Happen, also known as Tora Tanzt, which translates from German as Tora Dances. That's the main character of the movie. Now this, I'm looking sideways with this information. We know the capacity for me to retain information. This is actually based, disturbingly, on a true story, but it says that the true story is based on a young mentally handicapped man who was 29 called Thies Fisher. I don't feel that the guy that the star of this was mentally handicapped. He was very naive. He was very trusting. He was a beautiful person, but I don't think he would be described as mentally handicapped in this. So what is the premise of Nothing Bad Can Happen? So Tora is a young man living in Hamburg in Germany. He is caught up in a group called the Jesus Freaks. They are like an alternative underground punk movement that are all Christians. So they like the alternative music. They play sort of in punk bands, but they call themselves the Jesus Freaks because they are like religious. They're trying to recruit more people into their, it's almost like a commune. They live in quite dilapidated houses that are abandoned, and it's almost like this little commune group that he's in. Now Tori one day comes across a family and their car has broken down, and he prays over the car for it to start, and the car actually starts. Now, I don't think for a second there's any indication here that his prayers have made the car start. This is what he believes. He is very religious. He has a very close connection with God. Please don't think this is a religious preachy movie. It absolutely isn't. He feels he has done this good turn for this family. The father of the family is one of the most repugnant characters you will ever come across watching movies. He obviously sees what this young man has done and sees within him naivety and sees that there's something to be manipulated here. Now that isn't made instantly clear, but he invites Tori back to his family, which is his wife, his stepdaughter and his son. They are living like in a camper van type sort of situation. They get a tent for him in the garden. They allow him to live in the tent on their land in return for him helping with garden work and stuff. So he settles into this new life with this kind of dysfunctional family. There are little signs here and there that there are issues. This young lad is very innocent, is very sweet, takes his relationship with God very seriously, does not believe in sex before marriage, any of these kind of things. But the daughter takes a shine to him immediately because he's a kind person, he's a nice person, he listens to her. She doesn't have that from her stepfather or her mother, and she is immediately bonded to him, and they form a very, very sweet friendship together. But the movie just gets progressively worse. The actions perpetrated by the father towards Tori gets worse. The mother gets involved, friends of the parents get involved. The young girl tries to help him. Watching this movie, it kills me that it's a real story. I don't want to tell you where this goes, but I do feel there has to be some kind of trigger warning for you to watch this. If you don't want any kind of spoilers, click off the video now. All I will say is this is a fabulous movie. So moving, so upsetting, so disturbing. But if you don't want to know anything else, obviously just go watch the movie. If you're kind of like, oh, well, what are we talking about here? I'm going to talk kind of a little bit about that now. This movie involves SA, we can't say it on the internet, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, towards both the daughter and eventually also Tori's character. Other people are brought in on this also. He's made fun of, he's used, the stuff that happens to this young lad in this movie at the end is barbaric, it's one of those movies you finish and you're sitting in complete silence of, it's disturbing enough to watch that, but to actually realise you're watching a true story is sickening. The movie goes beyond essay. This young lad is tortured. The way he is treated, what happens to him, is horrifying. It says inspired by horrifying true events. A young lost soul, that's exactly what he is, involved with an underground Christian punk movement, falls in with his dysfunctional family who test his seemingly unwavering faith. It's disturbing, guys. It's brutal. It's sickening. It's a difficult watch. I won't ever watch this again. There's some movies that I've watched and I've thought, man, that was a fabulous movie, but I will never watch that again. And this is one of these movies. Don't watch it if you're easily offended. Don't watch it if you're one of these people where things are going to stay in your head and you're going to struggle to get it out, because I still haven't got this out of my head a week later. It's so well made. It's so well acted. The young lad that stars in it, let me get his name again. Julius Feldmeier as Tori is fabulous. As a matter of fact, there isn't a weak link here. Everyone is fantastic in this movie. It's very gritty. It's very in your face. It's very down to earth. There's no bells and whistles. It's very matter of fact. It kind of had a feel to me of, I know it's a German movie, but you know how Australian movies are quite gritty and quite down to earth, true to life, no bells and whistles. It's got that feel to it. So if you like sort of gritty Australian movies, I think you'll really dig this one, but please be aware it is disturbing. It is upsetting. I don't mean in the sense of, you know, horrific as in the sense of injuries and stuff, although there is some of that in here. We don't see very much of that. It's just psychologically very, very disturbing to know what this young man went through in reality. And then reading afterwards, the actual young man this is based on actually was mentally handicapped. I mean, it's sick. But I really, really needed to put this one out there to anyone that hasn't seen it, that can stomach this kind of thing. As I say, I'll never watch it again, but my God, what a fabulous movie. So it's not often something affects me to this degree, but it was a 4.5 out of 5 movie for me. I don't even want to say I loved it because it was awful, but such a good movie, just so effective that very few people could watch this one twice, I would imagine. So I'm putting that out there for you. Nothing bad can happen. It's from 2013. Please check it out, guys. If you've seen it, I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts below on what you thought. Does it sound like something you could bear to watch? If you can watch disturbing movies, give it a try, because it's a story that really needs to be told and needs to be seen. Thanks for watching, guys. Over and out from Lisa Lives.